So for the past week, it seems like everyone and their mothers has been focused on this very high-profile court case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Personally, I'm very happy that people are finally getting to talk about this. I'm happy that people are finally giving their testimonies. We're getting to see the body language. We're getting to kind of put the pieces together. For those of you that don't know, in this situation, Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for defamation because obviously her coming forward with these allegations of abuse has seriously damaged his career and his reputation forever. He's testified recently saying that no matter what the verdict is in this court case, his career will never be the same, and this whole situation has forever altered him as a person. To me, it really seems like he just wants to publicly set the record straight in the court of law, and based on what we've seen so far in the testimonials, it might be justice for Johnny. I'm really hoping it is. She seems like a very vindictive, manipulative person, and he really just seems like a guy who was fighting his own personal demons. Either way, today I wanted to highlight some of the more telling clips that I found from the testimonials themselves.
Please tell the jury why you're here today.
About 6 years ago, Ms. Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing criminal acts against me that were not based in any species of truth. It just didn't need to go in that direction, as nothing of the kind had ever happened.
Yeah, so he's saying, Your Honor, that bitch is lying.
But never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life.
That's also important to note. You know, Johnny Depp is a pretty old guy. He's in his 50s, and he's never had a history of abusing absolutely anyone but himself through his substance use.
Her accusations had sort of permeated the industry and then made its way through media, and social media became quite a global, let's say, quote-unquote, fact, if you will. Since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it my responsibility to stand up, not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children. I thought it was diabolical that my children would have to go to school and have their friends or people in the school approach them with the infamous People magazine cover with Ms. Heard with a dark bruise on her face.
Yeah, so like I said, he's basically saying this story came out, it obviously caught fire. I mean, Johnny Depp is a blockbuster actor. And then at that time, everyone just pretty much ran with it and said, oh, it must be the truth. He must be this abusive guy. I mean, look at this picture. It looks so bad. And not only was it affecting his life, but it started affecting his children's life as well. You know, they were going to school. People were saying, oh, what's up with these tabloids? What's up with your dad? And now I actually wanted to show you guys this little piece of evidence that Amber Heard wanted to show to the court. This was some sort of infamous argument that they had at the time, and I guess this was her way of trying to document how she felt Johnny was being abusive towards her. Keep in mind, guys, everything's gonna be sped up just for time purposes. So you see how she tried to block the camera when he comes over, and then when he kind of goes and does his thing, she moves out the way. He's pissed off. He's slamming cabinets.
Nothing happened this morning, you know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So nothing happened to you this morning?
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We're not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll get you fucking crazy. You're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going? Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, so she's trying to say that was like evidence of him being abusive, when really it seemed like the only things he abused was slamming some kitchen counters and throwing some shit around, pouring himself a fucking monster glass of wine.
You want to see crazy? I'll get you fucking crazy. You're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
But never once does he touch her. And here's where they talk about that incident in court.
Being illegally recorded by your chosen other is...
Look at her trying to look so fucking sad and play it up to the crowd. I mean, she just has this pouty face on the entire time. You know, I'm not expecting her to go out there and be all smiles, but she's really hamming it up for the camera, while he, on the other hand, is coming off like a lot more genuine to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Both of these people are actors. Both of them are going to be masters of manipulation if they choose. But he just seems a lot more genuine. You know, I can't wait to see till she gets up there and testifies.
I thought what was most interesting is that she tried to hide it from me, and then that she laughed and smiled at the end. I thought that was the most interesting part myself. But so yes, I did assault a couple of cabins, but I did not touch Miss Heard.
May have been drunk in that video, correct?
There's a possibility of that, yes, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint. I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
Yeah, they keep trying to use his drug addictions and his alcoholism against him. Like, oh, you know, you were drunk, so you obviously don't remember what the fuck you did at that time. You know, that's kind of their whole stance. When in reality, having a drug problem like that obviously doesn't equate to being an abusive partner. And a lot of people also speculate that she liked to get him fucked up so that she could scheme and plan her many lies that she planned to go public with. I thought this was a really good clip too. This man right here is someone who Johnny Depp would probably consider his best friend. He's lived with him for many years, and he obviously spends a lot of time around this couple.
Have known, you've already testified, you've known him for 42 years. You didn't pay rent at the penthouse, correct?
No, no one did.
Right. Okay, and then after you finished at the penthouse, you went over and lived with him in Sweetser, correct?
I live in one of his house that he owns on Sweetser.
And you still live there?
Yes.
And rent-free, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You were rent-free in penthouses for a number of years, and now you've been rent-free ever since in Sweetser?
That's a nice friend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she's trying to make the argument like, oh, you're obviously going to be on Johnny's side because you are his very good friend. You are kind of in debt to him. He's done all these favors for you.
And I think you testified already, you're pretty angry with Ms. Heard, right?
When?
I wrote it down that you
About the phony pictures that were taken and put in tabloids, and about the fake narrative, and about and the way she's trying to got a fraudulent DV claim to extort and blackmail a man. Yeah, that kind of got me frustrated, confused, angry, upset. Yes.
Ooh.
Which is why.
Mic drop on that one, Jesus Christ. I mean, Johnny Depp's friend is really holding no punches, okay? He's kind of gonna be the mouthpiece for this whole generation. Like, yes, it did make me kind of angry that this woman over here tried to sabotage my best friend's entire life with a bunch of lies and bullshit.
Was it fair to say you're still angry with her?
Oh, you know something? It's 6 years.
But we just heard you
6
give your
years. Am
version.
I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired, and I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So, so many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world.
I mean, just him saying that really does show how far this whole situation has gone. I'm sure for the last couple of years, Johnny Depp has been living in his own personal hell, and obviously that's going to affect everyone around him, including his children and his friends. Now here's one that was really grabbing headlines. Johnny Depp describes the moment he realized Amber Heard pooped on his side of the bed.
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed. And on my side of the bed, was human fecal matter.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know how to say it.
My initial response to that was, I laughed. It was so bizarre and so grotesque.
That is some disgusting ass shit. Literally. And personally, I would not put it past this woman. I'm telling you guys, these actor type of people are absolutely insane. They usually have a lot of internal problems, and I don't see how you could really trust someone who's like on a professional level of acting. Here's Johnny kind of describing the way she would act when she was getting abusive.
Eventually, I was sure that it was going to escalate into violence, and oftentimes it did. Miss Heard, in her frustration and in her rage and her anger, she would strike out. It could begin with a slap, it could begin with a shove. It could begin with, throwing a TV remote at my head. It could be throwing a glass of wine in my face. It was constant. My personal experiences, which I gave to Miss Heard, those things were those facts were used against me as weapons, especially when when it came to my kids. Too many lines were crossed. You couldn't see the lines anymore.
Yeah, so it seems like based on what he's saying there, she really exhibited some classic abuser behavior, especially when he talks about the fact that she would use things he told her in confidence against him when she wanted to be ugly towards him. If that's true, that's some really vindictive, evil type shit. Here we get to see Johnny Depp's reaction to them playing this audio clip in court. It's basically during one of their altercations.
I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just
And
happened.
I lied.
And then you punched me in
You're
the
right.
fucking thing.
You figured it out.
And you said, no, fuck, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, you've been in a lot of fights. You've been around a long time. I know. Yeah,
No, when you fucking have a close.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you. What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby. You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny.
Yup, just get louder in the argument when you're losing. It's just a classic tactic. I mean, just based on the way their voice sounds during these altercations, he sounds like he's in a much more calm place, while she sounds like she's just getting more and more amped up. So when I'm considering who out of those two people is more likely to get violent, I'm thinking it's gonna be the person that's getting more and more amped up, not the dude that's just sitting there in the background all drunk trying to have this conversation. Here's some more audio from yet another altercation they had.
That fake laugh is too much to take.
No, I'm sure she's.
That fake laugh is so disgusting.
I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's great.
She's talking about some woman that Johnny was allegedly texting.
Thinking that you can give me some
No.
of the best performances in
No,
the
no, you're right. I don't. It's all about performance.
I don't regret.
Oh, what else?
I
What
don't
else
regret.
that you do? Oh, come on.
don't
B
regret.
words.
No, I
Come
don't
on. Lay
regret.
it on me. What else? What else other things do you want to add?
Can't talk
You
to me,
fucking
sound
lying
like
piece of
Bobby
shit.
Bear.
Why? Oh,
Like
no,
a
I
kid
want
show.
to know.
Yeah,
I want to know.
Get out your Ubers out
I'm
there.
kind of waiting. You go get it.
Yeah.
She sounds crazy as fuck. You know, it sounds like he's in the room with like 3 different people having a conversation.
Wait, is there no other place for you to run in your 15 other houses to go run? Come on, go be a real married man and go deal with your shit the way that a man does. Go run to the next
This chick
house.
is sick, yo.
Every
She's sick in
man
the
does.
fucking cabasa.
Go.
Going
Run
through-
away. I know it's
With
hard to
your
look at yourself.
fucking ridiculous
I know.
plan.
It's
Your
hard.
panicked fucking plan.
It's hard. It's hard.
Screwing everybody else
Poor
over
thing.
to get
You're
your
right, I
fucking...
tried.
get what
That's
you
what I
got.
do.
You were the most spoiled fucking brat.
Fucking diabolical
You
ass
got
laugh.
everybody out here almost
Oh,
full, but it
you're
don't
right.
last
You're
long.
right.
I've
I'm
been here a
sorry.
lot longer
You're
than
right. You gotta
because
figure it out.
You don't have... Figure out what you have to offer as opposed to going out and get your tits out.
You're right.
Ooh.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
He's like, figure out how to actually fucking act and don't just be a piece of meat out there. To me, she just seems like a crazy, lying, manipulative, clout-chasing woman. I mean, if she ends up losing this case and we find out she was the one hitting him, oh, this shit's over for her. It's an absolute wrap. But I guarantee she won't face any time in jail. She'll just pretty much have to be an outcast to society. Either way, guys, I wanted to share something a little bit funny from the court case to end this one off. Okay, this has to be the funniest moment. These are some text messages that were being exchanged between Johnny and Amber.
The only reason we go for the throat is love. Did I read that right?
You did?
And then she writes, my throat is yours.
Ooh.
You're going to be the death of me, but I don't care. And then you write, I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury. I
Johnny's
have
fucking
other
based.
uses for your throat which do not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
Those are your words, sir, right?
And now people are calling this depth throating. Oh my god. Either way, guys, we're going to continue to cover the highlights as this court case goes on. Like I said already, at least in the court of public opinion, I think Johnny has already won. You know, even years ago when everyone was pointing out how sketchy her evidence of this abuse was, a lot of people were still on her side, so I'm hoping this court case will really change that. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down below. As always, I do want to thank you guys for watching and subscribing today. And as you guys know, it's been your boy Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace!